Honorable Senators, I have a communication to make regarding the meeting between the Senate and the Cabinet Secretary, Minister of Interior and National Administration, the Honorable Kipchumba Murkomen, EGH, on the circumstances surrounding the death of Mr. Albert Omondi Ojwang at the Central Police Station in Nairobi City County. Now, Honorable Senators, as you may recall, during the sitting of the Senate held yesterday, Tuesday, the 10th of June, 2025, the Senator for Migori County, Senator Eddie Okech, sought a statement pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 from the Standing Committee on National Security, Defense and Foreign Relations regarding the unfortunate death of Mr. Albert Omondi Ojwang while in custody at the Central Police Station in Nairobi. Pursuant to Standing Order 53-3, I allowed senators to make comments on the statement sought by Senator Eddie Okech. All senators who spoke on this matter expressed grave concern over the inhumane treatment and resultant death of Mr. Albert Ojwang while at the police station. The senators demanded for urgent action from the relevant government agencies, particularly the Cabinet Secretary, Minister of Interior and National Administration, the Inspector General of Police, and the Independent Policing Oversight Authority. Subsequently, following the comments by honorable senators on this statement, and in view of the urgent nature of the matter, which is of a nationwide concern, considering the expression of grief by the public, I directed that the Cabinet Secretary, Minister of Interior and National Administration appears before the Senate, accompanied by the Inspector General of Police, the Chairperson of the Independent Policing Oversight Authority, and the Chairperson of the National Police Service Commission to respond to the concerns from senators for and on behalf of the people they represent. The matter at hand relates to the safety and well-being of persons in custody at police stations across the country, and in particular the circumstances surrounding the unwarranted treatment and grotesque death of Mr. Ojwang. Honorable Senators, as you may be aware, Wednesday mornings are reserved for questions to Cabinet Secretaries. However, special arrangements must be made for the Senate to engage with the Cabinet Secretary and his team on this particular issue. Consequently, I will very shortly allow the Senate Majority Leader to move a motion for the temporary suspension of this sitting pursuant to Standing Order 38. The period of suspension of the sitting shall not exceed 2 hours. This time will be used for the Senate to engage with the Cabinet Secretary and his team, after which normal business as scheduled in the order paper will resume, beginning with questions scheduled for reply by the Cabinet Secretary. You will acknowledge that this is indeed an unprecedented occurrence in the Senate. It is, however, necessary that this route is taken to allow for the necessary flexibility to get a report on the concrete action being undertaken by the Cabinet Secretary and his team for the senators to effectively interrogate the matter. During the session with the Cabinet Secretary and his team, the proceedings will be open. Media access will be granted, and so is the live broadcasting of the session. Accordingly, the Hansard editor is directed to prepare a special report thereon. So, Majority Leader, you may now proceed to move the motion.
Mr. Speaker, I rise to move the following motion, which is a temporary suspension of a sitting pursuant to Standing Order number 38. That pursuant to Standing Order number 38-1, the Senate do suspend its proceedings for not more than 2 hours in order to allow senators to efficiently interrogate the Cabinet Secretary for Interior and National Administration, the Inspector General of Police, the chairpersons of the Independent Police Oversight Authority, IPOA, and of the National Police Service Commission regarding the safety and the well-being of arrested persons in police custody, and in particular the circumstances surrounding the death of Albert Ojwang. Yesterday afternoon, Mr. Speaker, we made a resolution as a House, and I must really appreciate you, Mr. Speaker, for accommodating the views of senators when we say that we must not only appear to be doing something, but we actually must do something. Honorable colleagues, the country looks up to us at such a time as this, where a 31-year-old young father was picked up by people known to be law enforcement officers and subsequently booked into a police station, and then the report gets hazy after that. The next thing we know, the young man is lying at a morgue. Mr. Speaker, if there was ever a time that we needed to rise to the occasion as a House and ensure that we do justice for the people that we represent in this House, this is such the time, Mr. Speaker. And therefore, we have made this request that you allow us, Mr. Speaker, to break from the normal session where we will ask the Cabinet Minister seated there to just respond to us. But because there are other people that we want to hear from, Mr. Speaker, particularly the chairperson of IPOA, Mr. Speaker, because there have been one too many deaths of civilians in the hands of police officers, Mr. Speaker. And those circumstances have been documented here. Members have raised statements with many such instances, Mr. Speaker. And we want to hear from them the report, how many people have so far been charged, why does investigation take so long, Mr. Speaker, what are the challenges, is there anything that as a House, Mr. Speaker, because we are a law-making entity, is it for want of sufficient laws, Mr. Speaker, that those who misuse their firearms, Mr. Speaker, are not charged? We'd wish to understand that from the gentleman who is appearing before us on behalf of IPOA. We have the Police Service Commission chairperson. This is an entity created by statute, Mr. Speaker, to handle issues of discipline, promotion, and whatnot, Mr. Speaker, in the police service. And there are many questions that arise, in particular on the conduct of police officers, Mr. Speaker. And it will be important that the Senate, on behalf of the country, is made aware of how many such incidents have been reported and what are they as a police service doing about it. There are many things that this House has raised in the past, Mr. Speaker, on the conduct of police, which this morning we finally have the opportunity to listen to. But more particularly, Mr. Speaker, is this death that has struck the conscience of the nation and brought everybody, all out, any Kenyan of goodwill, to want to know what really happened. And you know, Mr. Speaker, like I observed just as a last comment, because I don't want to take time, want to listen to the people that are appearing before us, Mr. Speaker, we were reminded yesterday that when we had the unfortunate demise of one of our colleagues, there was such serious attention to that particular matter that almost on an hourly basis, we were being briefed as a country of what happened. The motorbike that followed him, the vehicle registration, the occupants, their details. It didn't take more than 24 hours, Mr. Speaker. As it is today, there's very little that we know. I think to the best of my knowledge, Mr. Speaker, I've only seen the names of the officers who were on duty at the Central Police Station. Up to now, nobody knows who are the officers that picked young Albert Ojwang from Migori, how he was driven, what was his status when he arrived at Central Police Station. Those are things which, as a leader, you want to know, Mr. Speaker, so that you begin to appreciate the things that are before us. It is important to also hear from the Police Service Commission, Mr. Speaker, because there is a particular complex matter of the Deputy Inspector General, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Langat is a gentleman I know, a very diligent officer, but he finds himself in a situation that I don't envy. When you're the deputy of an institution and you make a complaint, which is the right thing to do, that when you feel your rights have been violated, you make a complaint. But unfortunately, the situation gets complicated by the fact that officers who report to him went and picked this particular young man, and that particular young man died under very mysterious circumstances. Mr. Speaker, it would have been neater if it was up to me to advise Mr. Langat that nobody has said that you're guilty, but for the country to appreciate, and for myself, even as your friend, to appreciate and be clear of my conscience that what really happened, that you step aside until investigations are concluded, Mr. Speaker, so that we appreciate and we know what really happened. Otherwise, as it is, no person of good conscience, even if you are to remain and stand firm, and the things that are being said about it, absolving you. But that is just, it's not in my place. It's the chairperson of the Police Service Commission to tell us how such matters are to be handled, Mr. Speaker. If it was a separate institution that was handling, then by very well reporting and making reports, Mr. Speaker, about what happened, people will have appreciated that he did the right thing. I don't want to indulge, Mr. Speaker, into the pros and the cons of what is before us, Mr. Speaker. What is important is senators to take this time to appreciate what is before us, a very solemn moment for the country, and for the country to watch and listen and get to learn. With those very many remarks, Mr. Speaker, I beg to move this motion and request the Senator for Kitui, the Deputy Leader of Minority, to second, Mr. Speaker.